All right, have and have not fans. Hope everyone's doing well. Trying to go into episode 3 with some new energy. I mean, if you watch my Ruthless review, like I said before, I have way too much fun when I do those reviews, and I hope to bring that same energy back to my have and have not reviews, but only if the show warrants it. Like I always say on the channel, I'm not trying to be fake. Yes, I know some videos might not give people that same level of enthusiasm that I used to, but the show is in season 8 and it's still making some of the dreaded mistakes that plague a lot of Tyler Perry shows, from bad pacing, repetitive dialogue, character growth just being depleted, some people acting the same way for years. So just keep that in mind when I watch the content, and I will give credit where credit's due. Like if an episode's really good, or if there's a character who stands out, I'll praise it. But if it isn't, yeah, whatever. So with that being said, make sure you like the video. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you're notified whenever I post content to the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. This video is almost like spill off from the video I did right before this one, where I talked about, did Hannah overreact when Derrick approached her. I don't know what I'll title the video, but basically I'm referencing last week's episode when, Hannah pulled out the knife, called the cops and everything. So in this video, I want to talk about how is Derrick going to get out of jail? Because I mentioned in my, I hope they're not cutting grass again. All right, so I mentioned last week, Derrick, wow. Sorry about the background noise, but I gotta get this video done because the show's coming on in a few hours. So, in any case, I'm asking the question, Derrick being arrested, several things to ask. Number one, if he's in jail, will he be put in the same cell that Wyatt was put in, basically the cell that was right across from Catherine's? And on top of that, how's he going to get out of jail? Because I feel like there are multiple ways that Derrick could get out. Because I feel like it would just be a waste if he's in jail the rest of season 8. Only, maybe if somebody comes to visit him. That'll be interesting. But I'm thinking there are multiple people who can get him out of jail. One being Candace. Even though she didn't finish law school, she did go to law school. She didn't take the bar exam. Look, long story short, remember that Professor Carden gave her a letter, because it's not the first time he's done that kind of thing with students. Basically, this was when Amanda was stalking him. And he was like, look, let me give you this letter. I'll give you this letter. So if you take the bar exam and if you pass it, boom, you're a lawyer. I've done it before. Only if Amanda leaves me alone. Then it got to the point where Jim had the apartment cleaned out after Candace was taken by the Malones. So when she got back, everything was gone, including that letter. So then we fast forward to like season 3, and she called Professor Carden over the phone. This was like the first time that he had been mentioned in a while. And she called him on the phone. Listen, you little freak, I need another letter. I lost the one you gave me. And then not long after that, Erica said that Professor Carden was killed. Apparently, it was like some jealous boyfriend of a girl that he was seeing or something like that. And that was the end of that. To this day, Candace doesn't know that Jim was the one that put a hit on Professor Carden via the Malone. So basically, Candace's one-way ticket of making it to the law school, basically Candace's one-way ticket to the bar exam was taken away. Now, remember, this was years ago in our time. And based off the fact that little Jimmy is now probably in his early 20s, even though he was like 6 or 7 when we first saw him on screen, it stands to reason that if Tyler Perry wanted to, he could rewrite this letter back into the script like nothing ever happened. Would I be upset about that? I would be a little bit, because I'm a continuity nut, but at the same time, I would not be surprised. But regardless of the fact that Candace did not finish law school, she does have legal know-how, because she utilized these skills when she helped save Benny from being taken off life support by Tony. This is way back during like the back half of season 1, back when the show was really good. So Candace could be a potential factor in getting him out of jail, because we do know in the sneak peek from tonight's episode, she comes to grips with the fact that she was conceived by rape, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to want anything to do with her father. So Candace might be a reason he gets out. Maybe she goes to visit him in jail just to get closure or something. I don't know. But then we move to the next person on the list. I think this is an obvious one, Veronica, because, you know, I mean, love to hate her, Derrick knows that she's one hell of an attorney, but only, I think that it will be a last resort kind of thing where Derrick would rely on Veronica if he has no other choice, because he knows full well if he's gotten out of jail by her like he was in the past, it would cost him sex. That's probably what he'd do. But remember, he's the one that orchestrated the whole thing with Laura and Samuel to get things ready to pretty much wipe Veronica's bank accounts clean. So Veronica is a iffy pick for me. Then we get to option 3, Catherine, which once again goes back to if Derrick is in the cell next to Catherine and they're talking, I feel like if he explains things the way he wants to explain to Hannah, Catherine might help him get out. Or if she's pissed off, she'll be like, you know what? I think it's better for Hannah that you stay in here. So it's like you're getting what you deserve, which is highly hypocritical considering that she's in jail for a murder that she committed. So yeah, but whatever. I think that maybe Catherine might get him out, maybe, but only if like he promises to leave her alone and whatnot. But I don't know. So Catherine might be a factor, which honestly, Catherine and Veronica go hand in hand, because remember, in the preview for tonight's episode, she's basically too through with Marty. And it's like, what, you going to get Veronica Harrington to help you? So if Catherine gets Veronica to help her, she might also get Veronica to help Derrick. That's what I think could happen. And then the fourth option is kind of a mix between Landon and Charles, which kind of like how I connected Catherine and Veronica. I feel like, you know, the Landon Charles could be connected to Candace. Hell, Oliver might pull some strings to get Derrick out if he feels like getting Derrick out of jail could be utilized in such a way to put bad press out about Candace and mess up the whole Candace and Charles dynamic. That's what I think could happen if Oliver decided to get involved. And then on top of that, Landon could possibly get involved, because remember, Landon was the one that got Candace out of jail for robbing men at the Artesian Hotel. And then also, remember, he's done things like prevented Candace from going on airplanes, not to mention, you know, put the federal hold on the account when she was trying to get Wyatt's inheritance. So a lot of invisible hand from behind the, you know, under the table from the Charles side of things could possibly be a reason that Derrick gets out of jail, just because having her father in jail in the midst of an inauguration for the potential first lady would not be a good look. So I feel like either Candace / Oliver Landon Charles / Catherine / Veronica could be one of the multiple ways that Derrick gets out of jail. That's what I think. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to the patrons over on Patreon. If you want to join in, feel free to do so for as little as $1 a month, or you can just donate directly to the channel via Cash App or PayPal. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.